Hey friends, it's Brittany from Happy Little Artist, and today we are going to be painting on a rock. If you couldn't tell from the thumbnail of the video, we are going to be painting The Handmaid's Tale, which happens to be a dark, ominous show from Hulu. We wouldn't really want it happening, but it's a really cool show. So I've actually already base coated the bottom of the rock with black nail polish, and we are going to be painting with Posca paint pens today. I will also be dressed in character and giving some fun facts in the upper right-hand corner of the video. So sit back and enjoy, and thank you so much for being here today.
So now I would like to take the time to do some fun facts, or just facts, maybe they don't have to be fun, about the Handmaid's Tale show. So I might be looking down a little bit so I can read some of them. So the first one I have is that the writers are mostly female, so they have a lot of female writers for this show, so that way they can accurately write about women's issues or adversity that women face that men just don't have any idea about. Yeah, you know, I feel like, as it should be, there should be mostly women writers for this. So, fun fact number 2, Margaret Atwood, the writer of the book, said that she does not consider this, her story, any adaptation of the book that she wrote, she does not consider it science fiction. Said that she purposely ensured that everything that happens in it is something that really happened at some time in some society. She's long considered that something like Gilead could happen under the right conditions, an especially potent thought that the Handmaid's Tale costumes are being worn at protests nowadays. Fun fact number 3, the show actually changed an important aspect of race and diversity in the cast. In the novel, part of the cruelty of Gilead was resettling. So that means banishment of non-white children of Ham is what it was called in the book, but that meant that every character was white in the book. But the producer, whose name is Bruce Miller, by the way, said he couldn't imagine having an all-white cast. He said, what's the difference between making a TV show about racists and making a racist TV show where you don't hire any actors of color? So they basically said long-term that it's not going to be a good look for the show, and it really wouldn't sit well with a lot of people, especially nowadays. Another point about race on the show, in the book, all people of color were driven away to the Midwest by the racist regime in charge of Gilead. So for the show, the producers didn't think it translated to the screen very well. The executive producer, Bruce Miller, told TV Line that producers had a huge discussion with Margaret Atwood, the woman who wrote the book, about the decision to change this detail about her book onto screen. He explained that on page, it's easy to say they sent all of the people of color away, but seeing it all the time on a TV show is a little bit harder to swallow, especially, you know, with how we've made so much progress. We don't want to continue to encourage that. So I do think that that's a good thing that they decided to change that detail about the book onto the screen. And I think it's great because I love Moira. I loved her in Orange is the New Black. I love her. She's awesome. But Moira was white in the book originally. So interesting, right? And I think it's better to have more diversity anyway. Hello. So fun fact number 4 about complacency. So complacency was a central message of the Handmaid's Tale show. Reed Morano, who created the look of the show in directing its first 3 episodes, and also was the director of Beyonce's Lemonade, she viewed the current political climate as a reason to feel more responsible in the art she was making for the show. She was astonished by the amount of people who don't vote. She said, that's the message, for me at least, in the first 3 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale. We're too complacent. I agree. We let things happen to us, and you don't have to let things happen to you. You can affect change. Huge! I believe this so much. Probably one of the biggest things that I believe, just so you know. I mean, I really love this show, like the underlining messages of standing up against what's not right. Random fact number 5, The show The Handmaid's Tale actually has a little bit of a Casablanca connection. So Nick, or Max, the actor, or Nick Blaine, Commander Blaine, however you know him, the driver, whatever. So he doesn't have a last name in the book, but the creators made him Nick Blaine for the series. So it was unclear whether the connection was intentional or not, but that makes his name incredibly close to Casablanca's also protagonist, Rick Blaine, played by Humphrey Bogart. So both characters are initially seen as out for themselves before they reveal that they're actually a protagonist good guy. So interesting little extra fact, I thought, you know? Do you think it's interesting? Let me know. Drop it in the comments below. Fun fact number 6. Amanda Brugel, who played Rita, the Martha that worked in Commander Fred's house, actually wrote a thesis on the novel to get into college and actually got a scholarship. And so the interesting part of that was her main focus in her thesis was of Rita, or the role that she ended up playing on the show. Like, random and interesting fun fact, I thought. Fun fact number 7. Fred and Serena had their house filled with stolen paintings. That nods towards how Nazi officers stole important, valuable pieces of art from Jewish households, is that the Waterford home was adorned in stolen paintings. But they aren't random either. The show's producers intentionally picked works currently housed in the Boston Museum of Fine Arts because of proximity to where the show takes place. Fun fact number 8. So the wings on the hats, I know I'm just wearing a beanie, but on the show, they wear those little bonnet hat things with wings. The wings that the handmaids wear are meant to hide their faces from others to obscure their own vision. So costume designer Anne Crabtree said that they help heighten the cage that the handmaids were in mentally, physically, and emotionally. But they also gave a challenge to the actors themselves by removing sight from their equation when they were acting. Moss, the main actress, and others spent a lot of time listening to their scene partners because unless they were looking at them straight on, they could not see them. What was actually a hindrance became quite a helpful vehicle for a new way of acting, Crabtree explained. So I thought that was interesting as well. Fun fact number 9. The author, Margaret Atwood, had a cameo in the pilot episode. So in the first episode, when everybody is in this room kind of getting brainwashed or getting ready for their roles as handmaids, they're all like sitting in a circle and learning to chastise each other for not doing what's right. There's a curly-haired Martha who's standing behind June and actually hits her, but she's a little fuzzy, like she never comes into focus on the show. Her fault. That is Margaret Atwood. She is the author of the original Handmaid's Tale book, which was published in 1985. I wanted to give a little bit more information about the inspirations that Margaret Atwood had for writing The Handmaid's Tale. She did not want to just make stuff up, and whatever she has written about, everything is based in fact. So although the dystopian future depicted The Handmaid's Tale may seem unimaginable in the real world, Margaret Atwood said that while writing the book, she made a point to stay true to the kinds of atrocities that humans had historically committed against one another. She said, "I made a rule for myself. I would not include anything that human beings had not already done in some place or time, or for which the technology did not already exist." So she wrote in a 2012 essay for The Guardian, "I did not wish to be accused of dark, twisted inventions or of misrepresenting the human potential for deplorable behavior." And deplorable is a good way to describe it, I would say. Ugh, cringe. Fun fact number 10. 10. Sign language, you know, whichever one works for you. 10, you know. 10. If we're doing the counting, Sesame Street. All right. Offred, who was June, in the room that she had at the Waterford's house. So her room was designed to highlight the life that she had lost. In an interview, the show's production designer, Julie Berghoff, explained that Offred's room reflects the life that she no longer has. We put a desk in there, but she can't write. So it's almost like a remembrance of, oh, I was a writer, an editor. I can't even sit and write anymore. So I thought, ooh, heavy. You know, it's heavy. Fun fact number 11. So Elizabeth Moss, or June, or Offred, you know, the main character, she did the whole show without makeup. Bruce Miller, and chief writer, said he felt that it allowed the acting to be more direct and because every little twitch and twinge was visible. And we also did very, very close shots. So I kind of noticed that when I watched the show, but you know, you never know. Sometimes they can do a natural look, but I guess she just didn't have makeup the whole time, which is pretty cool. She is a really good method actress. I've seen her in a lot of stuff, but Mad Men, she did really good. What I really love is, I think the first time I ever saw her was Girl Interrupted. Have you seen Girl Interrupted? That's a good movie. It's a good movie. Just saying. Fun fact number 12. So even though Atwood herself is Canadian, which that's another fun fact, just peppered in there, she chose to set the story in America. She didn't think it was believable that Canada would just roll over and let somebody come in and take over like they were doing. So she said, I have to say the resistance to such a thing would be very strong in Quebec. Canada has historically been the place you run away to. So that's why you run away to it in The Handmaid's Tale. People are running away to it right now, actually. So following historical patterns, she kind of just sticks with the same thing. So, yeah, you know, interesting. I didn't know that. Another peppered in, sprinkled fun fact that kind of bridges off of that is that the show, not only was Margaret Atwood from there and it's the safe haven, but the show is actually filmed in Canada. Fun fact 13. Offred's real name is actually never revealed in the book. So her real name in the show is June. Not trying to do spoilers here. I'm just trying to give some fun facts. So, fun fact 14. Emily, the girl from Gilmore Girls. Another character who was changed in the TV series of the story was actually Emily, played by Alexis Bledel. Emily's sexual orientation and her marriage to another woman were addressed for the show, but Atwood's changes like that update the story and make it more relevant to modern audiences. In the book, we don't hear too much about Ofglen, who is Emily in Handmaid's Tale. So they're being more like inclusionary, and then also, yeah, you know, like so people can relate and just how our society is now. So being gay is perfectly fine. I mean, it was fine then. It's fine now, you know, it's great. It's who people are. Celebrate differences, love one another, you know. Fun fact number 15. The Commander and Serena Joy are the Waterfords. They were much younger in the series than in the book. So another big character change was the age of the couple Offred stays with. In the book, the Commander and Serena Joy are very old, actually. In the show, they're much younger. Executive producer Bruce Miller explained that the decision was made to put Serena in direct competition with Offred. Just one more thing to add to how much it sucks to be a woman in Gilead. Oh. Fun fact 16. Fact 18. This is about the handmaids' names. So even their names are symbolic. June, her name was Offred. The commander that she worked under was named Fred. So basically it means of Fred or his property. I've also read that it could mean of or offering. So the handmaids are being offered, you know, to be used to make babies for them. So, ew, like creepy. And then your name changes depending on where you go. So if you go to Glenn's house, then you're off Glenn now. And if you change commanders, you know, many times, then your name will have changed many times. So basically you are not a person. It takes away the identity of the person and it makes you his property, like a dog or something. Pretty awful. So the commander's office represents everything that's off limits to women. I know, lame, right? So books, art, sexual art, alcohol. He pulled out a game of Scrabble at one point, cigars, basically anything that handmaids and women aren't allowed to have. So it was like it was literally his man cave. But it basically, Margaret Atwood said it takes you back to the Puritan days, doesn't it? No thanks. And that wraps up my fun facts of The Handmaid's Tale. So continue to enjoy me painting, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't be oppressive. Ooh, too soon. I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. And please remember, in mass quantity, we can all be an army if we need to. Don't forget. And don't just lay down and take it. Love will heal the world. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you so much.
If you did, please give my video a like. And if you would like to see more videos in the future, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it so much. And I appreciate you for watching today. Bye, everybody.